Hi, I'm Eric Sally from Perry Baromedical Corp. I'm here today to show you how to do the wrist strap grounding assembly for a patient in our chamber, and also how to test it to verify that it's in good working condition. The items that you will need is a calibrated multimeter that can read ohms with test leads, and also a wrist strap with also the grounding cable, which we do have on our website. Part number is M-3117A, and in it will come the wrist strap, the grounding cable, and a conversion to adapt the banana clip receptacle to a alligator clip if need be. But on our chambers, you will only need to just use it without the alligator clip. The other item that would be needed is a tester to verify that this is in good working condition. Also, again, we sell that part, and our part number is an M-3117C, and what that comes with is this nice little easy tester, which has a little 9-volt replaceable battery in it, and it's very simple to use. It has a little button here where you'll be testing with, and a little receptacle that you will plug the tester, the cord in with, and it gives you a green passing light, a red high light if there's a lot of resistance in, and a yellow light for low resistance. The other thing that this particular item comes with, this tester, and it comes with also a certification of calibration, also to show that it is within specs. And so whatever you do not drop any of your testing equipment that could possibly damage it and put it out of specs, and it would have to be recalibrated. Preferably maybe once a year, to have these items recalibrated and tested to see that they are within specs. So with that, I'll show you the two methods that you can use. One is by using this tester. You take your cord here that's going to plug into the chamber, and then this will clip onto the patient's wrist strap. The wrist strap itself that comes in the kit that we sell has a woven thread of metal throughout it, so it's interweaved with metal fibers. So not only is the little plaque here conductive, so also is the whole strap itself. It's a little more expensive, but it's a much better quality item versus other ones. The strap itself is just made of an elastic material, and it has none of the continuity abilities in it. And then what you'll do is you can test this all by itself to see if it's in good shape. Over time, what can happen to these is they get stretched out and they look fine on the outside, but on the inside you can have broken wires and fibers, and it will lose its connections, and the resistance in it will no longer work correctly. It will have an open circuit possible. So to test just this, you plug it into the receptacle, and then you can take it and push it right on here, and you see that you get a passing light. It also has a low battery light if the battery itself is failing, so you'll know when to replace that. Now, the other thing that you can to verify so that that is in good shape, you can also test the wrist strap also. So this is adjustable also by simply splitting it right here at the opening, and you can adjust it smaller or adjust it longer depending upon the risk for your patient. Slide it down, this gets locked in, and you can test it against the silver grounding plate there, and you can see you get a green light. You test the wrist strap itself, and you can also see that it's in good shape and that it's got continuity through the entire assembly. Now, with this tester, it has a built-in measuring of approximately 1 mega ohm of resistance that it allows for, that these cables have built into them. And the reason for that is so that the patient inside doesn't get possibly electrocuted by, say, a possible lightning storm or some feedback electricity that would come through the building. And electricity likes to run the shortest and easiest and least resistance path. So if electricity of a feedback of some high voltage was to try to get into the chamber through the grounding system, it would come up in, and within hundreds of thousands of seconds, it would then hit this resistance and retreat and go someplace else where there's less resistance to do whatever damage it wants to do. So that is one of the purposes of having this built-in resistor versus just a regular wire. The other thing that its main purpose is to also eliminate the static electricity that can possibly build up on the patient while in the chamber. So this attaching to their wrist and then putting them into the chamber, this then plugs into a receptacle, which then that is then internally through ground wires connected to the facility building, which is then grounded. That makes a complete circuit of grounding. The other way that this can be tested if you do not have one of these is to use a multimeter, and with that you would then put it to the ohms and just leave it on auto range, and with your little probes, you do not want to come in contact with both ends. If you're trying to hold it here and you're holding it with your fingers, and then you take the other end and you then touch the other part and you're touching it with your fingers, you're actually making a circuit with your body, which will then possibly give you a false reading. So what you'll want to do is try to either set it down on the table or something and touch it here, touch it there, and then it's a little slippery, and you can see I get 0.97 less than 1 mega ohm of resistance. And the same thing with the elastic band, same thing. You can see there I'm still within the range that is safe to use. So this is the method that can be done if you do not have this nice little simple tester. So those are some of the methods, and what we do suggest is that this is tested every day at a minimum. Just because it worked fine on the patient that just came out of the chamber doesn't mean that it's going to possibly work on the patient going in next. It's very possible that it could have gotten rolled over, stepped on, stretched, and snapped at some point. So when you go to put your next patient in, this will be put on them, and then you will test with the tester to verify that it's making continuity on them, and we'll go through that next. Next, demonstrate how to put this on the patient, and then how to load them in and then connect it to the chamber. So with this all set up and ready to go, we've already pre-tested it with our little wrist strap tester. Next thing is then install it on the patient. Doesn't matter really which hand it goes on, it's a little loose. So we're going to readjust this. The other thing that could happen too with places that are really dry climates, Arizona, New Mexico, and other places, you may have patients that their skin is really dried out and it's not making good continuity. You may then have to moisturize them. So what can be done is either you can go to a sink and just kind of rinse with some water, or give them a washcloth with some water in it, and they kind of just massage and rehydrate their skin. because sometimes that will give them a false reading on here because they're not making any continuity as far as a connection. So with this on, it doesn't matter if it goes on the top, bottom, side. There's no right or wrong, just as long as it's tight and it's making contact. Snap this in, then plug it into the tester, and then what's going to happen is she's going to take her finger and push right on there and hold it down, and you can see it passes. And you can see that she's doing it with her other hand, so her whole body is making it a good full circle of a circuit. She can also then test with that finger also, so you know that it is making continuity, and she's going to be grounded well when she connects to the zone. So with that, she will go ahead and lay down, back direction, there we go. Now normally a patient getting into the chamber, you've already would have checked to see that they have no perfumes or colognes. They would be wearing usually some type of scrubs as opposed to civilian clothing. Is what's recommended, not to go in otherwise. But this is just a demonstration, so we're not going to go through all that right now. So with the patient laying down, this is then took over top of them, behind them, back here, out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and pull the little safety lock here and roll her all in. And then when it's in place, you will then just come right over here, and with it, you plug it right into the receptacle. And then you're ready to unlatch your gurney assembly and close your door and start pressurizing the chamber and continue on with your dock. And now just the opposite as far as undoing it all, open the door, make your gurney assembly back to the chamber, unplug the ground, lay it back up on top of here, you're going to pull the pin release, pull it back or out. This way it's all intact. You're making sure that nothing is hanging over the side so that this could possibly get ran over or damaged. So that concludes how to test and install your grounding strap and wrist strap assembly. And if you want to know more about the purchasing of this or other items that we have, check out our website at perrybaromedical.com.